Coverage of the ANZ International Series Black Caps versus South Africa is brought to you by ANZ.
Welcome to the University of Otago Oval for the first morning of this first test between New Zealand and South Africa. Beautiful day here in the deep south. South Africa winning the toss, and some interesting team selections. Southey left out for New Zealand, going in with two spinners including Jetan Patel. South Africa batting first. Let's join the commentary trio of Kyle Mills, Kepler Wessels and Craig Cumming.
Here's Stephen Cook, coming off a very good home season in South Africa against Sri Lanka. Started his career very late, but it's always that edge, isn't there, Craig? At the first morning, the first hour of any test is always the most exciting hour to watch.
Especially from an opening batter's point of view. That's when the emotions are high, because you just don't know what you're doing. Trent Bolt underway. And always looking to see whether there's any swing. Wide of the crease and underway. Hook off the mark. Into the first over, one without loss. Timing down the ground. That'll build the confidence for Elgar. Lovely shot.
Excellent, Dean Elgar. That delivery was too full. It was a half volley. So Dean Elgar at his best. He presents the full face of the bat. No risk attached to that straight drive. In fact, it was just a punch down the ground.
That's close. That's got to be out. Has to be out. No denying that. I wouldn't even consultate. In fact, he's not going to, Cook. He is gone. That is poor judgment and terrific swing bowling.
Well, that's serious misjudgment. Kyle Mills talked about Trent Bolt coming in closer. He's in a hint touch closer. It seems back, and that's right in front of middle. Height may be an issue, but I think Cook knew he was in trouble. Kumar Dharmasena raises the finger, and that error costs Cook his wicket. He's out for 3. It's 10 for 1.
Hashim Amla makes his way to the middle. What a terrific career. He's not that far away from 8,000 test runs at just a tick, and I mean a tick under 50. That is world class. 31 50s, 2600s in the highest bracket. Oh, he's got it away. That's a lovely shot. It really is, after being put under the hammer, to ease it down the ground.
Oh, looks like buys. Watling couldn't get across to it. Did it clip the pad? No, it didn't. So 4 runs off the over in the end. Bowled in straight through the gate. Neil Wagner gets one to shape back, and the big wicket of Hashim Amla goes.
That is a top delivery, Neil Wagner. It was full. It swung back in late. The exact spot to bowl to Hashim Amla at the moment. He's been having issues with his footwork. Try to work that one to mid-on, but he left that gap between bat and pad wide open.
Well, it just swung in just a touch. And Hashim Amla, a big mover of his feet early on, but he departs for 1 off 28 balls. 20 for 2.
Well, Neil Wagner into his 3rd over, his first from the southern end after opening the bowling, has picked up a crucial wicket, and it brings out JP Duminy. Average of 34 and that high score of 166. Is it out? Is it off the gloves? Yes, it is, and he picks up a second.
I think he thinks it's off the helmet, JP Duminy. It was a great delivery, particularly to JP Duminy early on. He doesn't always enjoy short pitch bowling, and this was a beauty.
So it's been given out on field, so I need conclusive evidence to say it's not out. Is that a flash, or is that a... That's staying on there? Looks like a flash, not actual. Yeah, can we go to RTS? That super, yeah. Just rock and roll that for me. Yep, so it's touching the glove there. There's a definite spike on the snicko there. So I'll go back to on field, saying he'll be staying with his decision. Kumar, this is, yep, well done, Kumar.
So, Neil Wagner, what a bowling change by Kane Williamson. And Neil Wagner gets the tail up. He's bowling quicker, round 138 Ks. He digs this one in to Duminy in the extra bounce and pace. Skip on the glove onto the helmet. And the joy and the satisfaction from Neil Wagner. After 2 full deliveries, picks up JP Duminy. He goes for 1, 22 for 3.
Catch it!
It's worked nicely.
Stand up, Wags.
Beautiful timing. Look at that, it's run away. I thought for a minute there was just going to be one, and the ball just kept running away. Neil Wagner couldn't get to it. It's through. He'll test the outfield. Just pulling up, but should have enough. So Elgar now, with the introduction of Duplessis at the other end, looks a lot more positive.
And that'll run away for a much-needed boundary for the visitors. A little bit of fortune there.
Catch it.
Nice stroke. Should run away. Boundary for Faf du Plessis. Another outside edge. And should run away. 2 in a row.
And now they're starting to cash in a wee bit on a little bit of looseness from New Zealand.
Catch it. All the way.
Oh, this is another boundary. Glorious stroke, this one. He has played 1 or 2 shots through the onside where his timing has been impeccable. Magnificent cover drive. Perhaps the shot of the morning. Very close to it.
Oh, catch it!
Chance, was it? Might go down as one, but there was certainly some inside edge.
This was past Tom Latham in a flash. Going hard at it, Faf du Plessis. It's almost self-preservation than a real opportunity.
And Trent Bolt. A loosener, was there a little edge? Did it bounce short? There was some excitement there. BJ Watling's put the catch down, if it was a catch.
BJ Watling, there was a faint inside edge there. This really should have been caught. Exactly what New Zealand wanted the first thing after lunch, to create an opportunity. And what a good one it was.
Everything just looked a little bit slow, and the ball wasn't great. The shot was a bit lazy, and he just couldn't get down there. He'll be so disappointed, BJ Watling. Catches up with this one, picks up 4.
It's happened so often after a drop. Boundary comes. And Dean Elgar doesn't give his wicket away easily, so just how important is that miss going to be?
Got some width. Beautiful. Been waiting and waiting and waiting patiently, Dean Elgar.
I think it's one thing South Africa have done well so far on day one, is when they have got an opportunity to put a ball away, they've done it. Not a half volley, but he stroked it, didn't try and overhit it. And the timing was good.
Oh, past the outside edge. It was drifting away. He went for it. Got away with it.
Not where he meant it to go, Faf du Plessis. It was a wider delivery, perhaps a slider. It came off that thick outside edge.
It's lovely timing again. Elgar Gee whiz, this outfield's getting fast, and it brings up his 50. 124 deliveries. He had to work hard in the first out, and along with Faf du Plessis, they're in a good partnership, and he's looked so much more positive.
Well, it's been a real challenge for him, especially that first hour of play. But here, just drifting touchdown leg side, and left-hand batsmen don't tend to miss out on those. And you're quite right, Craig. The outfield today has been excellent, very fast.
Opportunity here for Faf du Plessis. Come down the wicket, and he's just done it, and it's a misfield. Really bad misfield from Bolt. He was thinking run out.
It's beautifully timed in the gap. That is the fast part of the outfield. It brings up the 100 for South Africa. It makes it.
Great effort, Slade.
Oh, is it going down? Drifting just a little. BJ Watling was heading in that direction. They've got 2 reviews. Won't use one. Good decision not to review. Also good decision from the umpire, as is that a good shot. Absolute quality from Dean Elgar.
Loves the pull shot, Dean Elgar. He's been waiting for one all morning, and this was it. Got himself into position quickly. Controlled the shot beautifully.
Drives straight down the ground. Timing's not perfect, but it should be good enough, and it will be.
He's played a few of those today, Dean Elgar.
Oh, and again, back to back. That is glorious.
Well, it's another over-pitch delivery from Neil Wagner. This time, Dean Elgar makes him pay through the offside. And that boundary brings up 100 partnership between Elgar and du Plessis. Again, searching for some swing and just easing it through the cover region to bring up what has been an exceptional partnership. 100 runs, 213 deliveries.
That'll be 4 more. A little bit streaky from the skipper, but nevertheless, another boundary.
And it's not a situation as this one's edged down past Gully, and Jeet Raval is trying to put in the big ones, but not fast enough. Tickles away for 4.
Got to be better than that. That is way too loose. Too much freedom now. The second boundary in the over. Just what Kane Williamson did not want.
And if he's going to go for boundaries, it'll be a short spell. Another one. 3 and 5 deliveries.
That's a genuine edge, I feel. This was a bonus for Elgar, but he's earned them because he's worked so hard earlier in the day. He just drifted wide with this one. It wasn't an authoritative cut shot like previously. That was a more of an outstretched bat in the air through a roundabout second gully, 4th slip. So unlucky, but still means the same in the book. And the third one and 5 deliveries. Oh, that's glorious. He's been looking to do that for quite some time, du Plessis. And with it, he brings up a very patient but typical du Plessis 50.
He's certainly enjoying these batting conditions now. It's a warm applause from the crowd. Great use of the feet. And hits through the line.
How high? He's given it out after a long, long consultation, and straight away, Faf du Plessis says, I don't think so. Instant review.
Yeah, there's a definite spike there. As it just freeze it on that frame for me so I can see all the pictures together. Yep, the ball's next to the bat. There's no gap, there's no daylight between that. So for me, that's conclusive evidence to say he's got an inside edge on that. So I'll be going back to Kumar on the ground. Kumar, he's got a little inside edge. There's a spike on the on Snicko as it goes past the bat. There's no daylight between it, so you'll be reversing your decision to not out.
Well, Faf du Plessis, without even consultation, decided to review that. So he has obviously felt a little fine touch on the inside edge. I don't think it was going on to hit personally anyway, but once it hits the bat, unless it's caught, that's the end of the penny section. Have a look at this, going high. This could be out. It is out. Nation buys one in the deep. Trent Bolt takes a comfortable catch in the end. And New Zealand's second time in the over. Yes, they have their man.
Well, maybe Kane Williamson needs to have more faith in Jimmy Neesham. He's creating opportunities for his team. Good short ball. Du Plessis, who plays the shot well normally, but he just gets the top edge. It's one of the longer parts of this ground. Safe hands from Trent Bolt. And New Zealand get their breakthrough in the end. It's just before the tea break. The skipper, Faf du Plessis, out 52, 148 for 4.
Temba Bavuma comes at an awkward time, really. 11 minutes till tea, so he really can't get set. Could get out. His average is 30. That's a good shot. Good safe shot. One bounce for.
Really like seeing that, Snick. Come on, boys. 5 to 10.
With that, Elgar moves into the 90s.
That'll be 4 more. So lovely piece of timing from Dean Elgar. Finishes off the over. 4 from it, 157 for 4. Pulls it away. That'll be the 100. That will be Test match century number 7 for Dean Elgar. Magnificent performance. Was tough, very, very tough. At first thing this morning, he got through that tough period, and now he has reaped the rewards with a 7th Test match chun.
Excellent innings, Dean Elgar. He had a little bit of luck, but you need that. So he batted quite beautifully. Waiting for this short ball. He had a couple of shorter ones early in the over, so he sat on the back foot, knew it was coming, and was in control of that pull shot.
Bavuma is underway, and he'll be underway with another 4, and just goes with all of the boundaries that have been hit this morning, plenty of them. Pulled away in the air. Is it a chance for Wagner? Can't get there. Cannot get there. Put in the big ones. It was high, was in the air for a long, long time.
Not in control of this, Temba Bavuma. This one came off the top edge. He's lucky that that didn't carry all the way down there to Neil Wagner.
Oh, 4 more. On top of the bounce and punched away behind point.
Took him a while to get off the mark, Temba Bavuma, but since then, since the previous over, in fact, he's played some really good shots. But right on top of this square cut and played it well.
Gorgeous shot. It's a repeat of a previous cut behind point. It's his own style, and he is in complete control. Lovely strike. Straight down the ground. One bounce for. Easy as you like.
I've seen that here, boys. Come on, 5 and 6.
Another good option from Elgar. 3 dot balls in this over. He says enough is enough. Kane Williamson's not that deep. Let's sure the timing's good, and there's enough bounce in this pitch now.
Swings it away through the onside. 4 more.
seeing that, G.
4 more, and that's been building for a period of time because Bavuma's been stuck in the crease for somewhat. Been prepared just to block it a lot, and I guess that frustration of wanting to feel the ball in the middle of the bat and try and get some runs. And semi-risky shot, but he played it well, timed it into the gap.
Swung away again. This time it's over the head of mid-wicket. 5 runs from that over as well. 210 for 4. So the new ball's been taken, and it will be Trent Boult. 9 overs remaining in the day.
That's 2 straight. It's running around. It's good fielding down there from Wagner.
Boult at the moment 132 kilometres per hour, so just feeling the effects. The overs earlier in the day. New Zealand need him to ramp it up here.
Shape there, but beautifully played past Patel. I thought Chetan Patel had that covered and it just whistled past him.
Yeah, I thought Trent Boult was feeling the same way. It's a disappointing look he gave Chetan Patel. Beautifully timed though from Bavuma. That's the look I was talking about.
It's one of those ones, isn't it? You got to keep the angle going across, not chase it. But beautiful timing.
And he's going to pick up a bonus towards the end of the day. Glorious timing off the pads.
Even though he's just looking to survive, still good enough to put the big full toss away. No square leg. Timing was good. And with that, it's possible that there's just the 2 deliveries left.
Brilliant effort. 361 minutes, 260 balls. Strike rate just 49, but that doesn't matter. He's at 22 boundaries, a high proportion of runs in 4s. Has not hit the ball in the air. A disciplined approach of how to blunt an attack on the first day of a test match and set his side up for quite a big score, you would assume, tomorrow. And he can turn and go. Brilliant day at the office for Dean Elgar. Well done. Great support from, first of all, Faf du Plessis, and now from Temba Bafuma. 38 from 101 balls. Outstanding. And New Zealand, for their part, well, they've tried very, very hard. They've never let South Africa get away from them at any point. The run rate just 2.54. Judges, who's the day?
I think it's pretty even. I think New Zealand will be pleased that only 229 runs have been scored against them, but they've only been able to take the 4 wickets. Dean Elgar, outstanding. Batting for the full 6 hours.
South Africa in the day with Elgar 128, Bafuma at 38, and it's 229 for 4. Looked good for New Zealand early on. They had South Africa 3 for 22 when Wagner and Boult had those 3 wickets between them, but just one to Jimmy Neesham in the second session has resulted in New Zealand getting the 4 for the day. Just 6 extras. It's been a good disciplined bowling performance, but it hasn't quite been penetrating enough, which means, for me anyway, South Africa come to the ground in very good shape. At 229 for 4. Our coverage at the University of Otago Oval tomorrow will be at 10:30 here on Sky Sport 1.
Hello and welcome to University of Otago Oval for day 2. South Africa are 229 for 4, resuming. Elgar on 128 and Bavuma on 38.
Big first hour for both, I think, Scotty.
Absolutely. New Zealand they can pick up a wicket or two in that first hour, they'll feel back in this match. South Africa, conversely, I think will try and make use of the best batting conditions of this match. Looks a fantastic pitch.
Oh, there was bat in there. That'll take Dean Elgar to his highest test score, but not convincing by any stretch. Not carried, not carried. It was very well picked up by Ross Taylor, but it was only ever going to be caught if BJ Watling had made a big dive away to his left, because it landed around about keeper second slip length, I think.
Oh, drags a wide one down past Watling. Bonus boundary.
He finds the inside edge. No real danger of hitting the stumps there. That streaky boundary brings up 100 partnership. Bavuma and Elgar.
Excellent partnership.
Little touch there, yep, he's gone. What a beauty from Wagner. A genuine effort ball again. And finally, they crack Elgar.
Well, this is the second absolute snorter from Wagner. We saw him undo Duminy with the short ball, and this one again, the line's slightly different, but what a delivery. It's too quick for Elgar. Watling does the rest, and it took a special delivery to get rid of a player who played a special innings. Great wicket for New Zealand. Elgar goes for his highest score in Test cricket. Brilliant 140, it's 252 for 5.
Well, he's been rewarded for absolute determination. We don't expect anything less from Neil Wagner. Problem is, the dismissal of Elgar has brought one of the danger men to the crease in Quinton de Kock. Must get him early. One of the things that strikes me about Bavuma is how he controls shots. And he's done it to great effect. So good, in fact, that he's now brought up a half century. Very polished.
Very polished. He has been in control. He's patient. He's also been able to put the bad ball away.
Width punished. Waited for it. In the air, yes it is. Yes it is. He went too hard at that, did Quinton de Kock, and Jetan Patel has struck. Lovely flight. Wasn't quite there, and a good catch as well.
Beautiful delivery. Great flight. And the outside edge, and even though he's bowled 10 overs, Neil Wagner takes a good catch diving forward. Well-deserved wicket. New Zealand have been on song this morning. They're well and truly back in this match. South Africa lose their 6th wicket. It's Quinton de Kock for 10, 265 for 6.
Not there. Comfortably played. Good timing from Bavuma. Fine, and fine enough for another boundary. Change of angle. Not a change of result, though. 4 more. 12 runs from the over.
Shorter ball, straight pull. Down the ground for 4. The strapple, otherwise known as. It really needed to be a dot ball. But look, it's been a great effort from Wagner. He's picked up 3 wickets so far in this innings, but this has been a huge spell. It really has on a dull wicket.
Excellent taken, and it's worked the opposite way. He's got too far inside it. And Trent Boult has been rewarded for a lot of hard work.
Well, this is the problem when suddenly you start messing around with your footwork. So what happened there was Temba Bavuma went too far across to the offside. If he stayed in his original position, that probably would have been a single down to fine leg. So this time, that improvisation didn't work for him. Good innings, nevertheless. He's gone for 64. South Africa 279 for 7.
Oh, fine. Plenty of bat on it. It's a quick outfield. That's what Jeet Patel's looking to do. There's a short one. He's got a hold of that. Timing not perfect, but it's good enough. A couple of bounces and into the hoarding.
Waiting for this one. Keshav Maharashtra got into a better position.
That's too full. Way too full, but if he had extra cover there, it might help him. But put away nicely by Philander. Pulled in the air, mistimed. And Trent Boult gets his reward the second time.
Well, that for me is fairly average batting. He got one out of about 5 right. And I think he just hit himself in the helmet to suggest that too. They set a trap this time. They got the field right. They said, OK, if you don't get it right, we've got you. And he got it nowhere near right. Top of the bat. Jimmy Neesham will never get an easier catch in Test cricket. And Trent Boult, probably an easier wicket. It was pretty simple. 298 for 8.
Underway. Rabada for a couple. He's dropped his bat. He's going to have to run fast.
Dropped the bat. All sorts of confusion. And one short as well.
Well, kids, this is how not to run between the wickets at all. First of all, you've got to touch your bat behind the line. Then you've got to hold on to your bat. And then if you drop it, you've got to run a lot quicker. Weirdest thing.
You just hope both feet are on the ground because you can be out. And he is, so that's OK.
Once one foot's in, though, that's OK. We've been through that, haven't we?
No, the law's going to change. It can be out. It's like your bat can be in, but if it bounces, you're out.
Oh.
And this time it doesn't turn. Jeet Patel, all the wares and guile that a spinner can have. Beautifully bowled.
Excellent bowling. He shouldered arms and the ball has gone straight on and hit off stump. That is excellent bowling from Jeet Patel, showing great skill to turn the ball previously, to show him the carrot. Well, Rabada, he's on his way for 4. It's 308 for 9.
And all over. Fantastic delivery from Trent Boult. New Zealand have been able to do the damage post-lunch. And 4 wickets for Boult, and he has deserved it. 4 for 64 for him. And New Zealand have wrapped up this innings of South Africa for 308. Nice and full, angling in at the stumps and not getting far forward at all for Lander. And back goes the castle.
Excellent display of disciplined bowling for New Zealand. That's a really fine effort as a group, and they'll be pleased with that. They've wrapped up the South African innings for 308.
It's going to be challenging here for Jeet Raval and Tom Latham, who's been out of sorts, so to speak, but he's a quality player and he's done a fine job opening the batting for New Zealand.
Well, just as there was concern from New Zealand's perspective of the workload that Neil Wagner has had coming into this Test match, the same concerns will be there about Vernon Philander and for Morne Morkel. And that's why it is important. That average of 40 from Tom Latham is excellent. Just early in the career for Jeet Raval. Good success early against Pakistan. He'll be looking to build on that. Rabada to begin this innings.
You saw early on, it's a quick single here from Latham.
Opportunity for Bavuma. I recall a run out in Perth, I think it was, earlier this summer in Australia. Bavuma, he is quick and he is outstanding in the field. Risky single to get off the mark. Beautifully struck. First boundary of the innings.
Your classic cover drive.
Finds a gap. Good run, that one. Now. Crazy stuff, really, isn't it? It's twice. Little touch and he's gone. Oh, the change of angle. Tom Latham standing, looking at impeccable over the wicket line. He gets him, drags him wide.
Quality Vernon Philander. That ball just angled back in and left Tom Latham a little bit off the seam, just enough. It was a wider delivery. Probably when he looks at that, he would have felt he could have let that go. But it was a change of angle from over to around the wicket that worked.
Yeah, brilliant by Philander. Latham, he departs for 10, 15 for 1 New Zealand.
Well, he's done it again. He strikes early. We've talked about that, and he has struck early again here, and Tom Latham has gone back to the pavilion, and he's passed Kane Williamson on the way out to resume a fantastic test batting career, averaging just over 50, 25 50s, 1500s. Got to go. Oh, no. I'll tell you, I think this was out too. This is 3 times. It's Boomer again on his right hand. Oh, close. Too close. Oh. Beautifully bowled. Gosh, that was a good piece of work. No. This time he gets it. Repeat dose, but Raval was up to it. Lovely cover drive.
A fraction full of this one.
It's some behind point this time for another boundary. Too much width from Maharaj. It's a shot right out of the textbook off the back foot. Few play it better. Wonderful result too.
He's tying up a line.
Goodness me, did this carry through to Hashim Amla? Didn't carry, but I'm sure there was just a little inside edge onto the bottom of the pad here as it gripped just a tad. Inside edge, a faint inside edge onto pad, and devilishly lucky here. Bang, 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 bang. It didn't carry through to Amla, but only just didn't carry through. Loose ball gets the treatment. Who's that under the helmet? Might have copped the treatment too.
Yeah, right on the hand too.
Stephen Cook it is too. Oh, it's brushed across those fingers. Bad.
Perils of fielding at short leg, particularly when your off spinner drops one short.
Width really nicely timed from Kane Williamson. Four. Lovely timing from Williamson.
Good shot. Excellent, excellent shot this. Slow delivery to the half volley. And it's just a punch down the ground. He's able to gap it. This fast outfield. Excellent, excellent shot.
Oh, lovely piece of timing. This one from Jeet Raval. Gets that width and gets it away this time. Full enough to drive.
Slightly fuller delivery from Philander.
Oh, he's hit the stumps there. He's hit the stumps. You could hear that. Dragged it down. No ball. Gosh, everything. Put away for 4. Gets that one away. Behind point, just a very small amount of width. Oh, short again, just short of Hashim Amla. 96 for 1.
Down the ground for 4. Glorious, and Raval with that brings up a half century. Very polished.
Yeah, lovely shot to bring up. This half century, Jeet Raval, showing glimpses all summer. An excellent start to his Test career, making the best opportunity when he's got on a surface that's been good. It was tough early on. Philander was challenging. It's been built on good defence, and that's a lovely shot.
Picture perfect.
Quality doesn't get any better than that. Full face of the bat, Kane Williamson.
Batting looks pretty easy now, and there's another one. Back to back down the ground. Some glorious stuff now from these two. And this time back of point. Equally good off the back foot. 100 partnership. 50 again for Williamson. This is classy cricket.
Excellent, Kane Williamson. Came in early against the new ball. He's batted quite superbly. Half century number 26.
Another shot that he plays so well. Just letting the ball come on. It's like he's just found the confidence and the trust back in the game, and he's playing those shots that we've seen him play so often.
Out! Chipped it straight to short mid-wicket. Not a great delivery. Jeet Raval, a lack of concentration it seems, and try and keep Elgar out of the match. It's not easy in this test match.
Well, it's probably appropriate that Elgar took the catch, because this is a shot that he played so often in his 140. He was so good at just working around the corner. There is so much space, and Raval, maybe it stopped on him, but he needs to be better than that. And while it wasn't probably plan A, it's worked, and that breakthrough is made. Jeet Raval's gone for 52, 117 for 2.
Ross Taylor comes to the crease at number 4. As usual spot, 170 for 2 now, New Zealand. Excellent record. Just a notch under 47 now. Bad ball. Gets the treatment. Simple as that.
What a pity. He's just got that wicket, Keshav Maharaj. Important for him to be spot on now.
Beautifully played. Played it late, Rabada. Using the pace. And Kane Williamson, another boundary. That was a close chance. Ross Taylor late to get underway.
Well, these two have got a history of incidents at the crease when it comes to their running. Williamson's called that. Probably Taylor's call, to be fair.
Oh, it's quick. It's got him on the helmet. And we'll run away for 4-leg buys.
You can see here, Ross Taylor, this Riff Bass ball right on the money. It's hit him on the back of the helmet. He's taken his eyes off the ball. And you'll see that front arm just above his glove. There's a wee guard there. Now, on the previous test tour here in New Zealand, Morne Morkel hit him on that arm and broke his arm.
Trouble for the New Zealanders. Kyle Mills, you spotted that he was favouring a leg. Well, Tommy Simsek, the New Zealand physio, was just trying to work on a calf muscle or down towards the Achilles. But the long and the short of it is that he can't run and will need to be replaced. Not good news for New Zealand. They've lost their senior batsman.
Mostly time, beat square leg. That was fast, they're running hard. And Nichols is centre back. Williams is going to go halfway. And he's out. Wow, what a mix-up between Henry Nichols and Kane Williamson.
It's going to be very, very close. Will he get there? Will he get there? He might. He might. Goodness me. So close, but this is going to be okay for Kane Williamson.
That's your best shot. You got nothing else? Thank you. Okay, so we're going to the big screen for not out.
It's in the right there, that's for sure. Right in the middle of that bat.
Oh, that's a great shot.
Cart, his favourite shot of Nichols. He'll put that away every day.
Edge, oh, that is a catch and a half. That is a great snare. One of the best you'll see at slip. That is so hard to take.
Diving away with his left hand. Just an edge on the outside edge of Nichols' bat. And Hashim Amla, well, he hasn't had to do much today at all. But look at this. What he has had to do, well, it is sublime. Just getting his left hand underneath the ball. He's standing very fine. Look at that catch. Just in the inside part of his hand. And he rolls with the shoulder. That's the key.
So just bear in mind it's a soft signal of out, so I need conclusive evidence to say that it's not out, that it's touched the ground or... No, that looks good. That's good. That's out. Yep. So we'll be staying with this soft signal. It's out. So to the big screen, please. We'll go out. Yep.
So finally, Henry Nichols will make the last 4 or 5 steps off the ground that he was prepared to leave anyway. 12 against his name. It's 165 for 3.
Now, Chetan Patel, he comes to the crease at a very tricky time.
And out come the helmets and all sorts of things now, because they're going to have a real go at Patel. They'll put people all around the bat. Lovely shot. It was a loose delivery, and Patel will just pick up a boundary. Just. Even better. Glorious drive. Good runs at the end of the day. 177 for 3. A round arm delivery. But like Malinga, that one, the left arm Malinga, it wasn't effective. But New Zealand have got through to the end of the day at 177 for 3. Another really good knock from Kane Williamson. He lives to fight tomorrow, as will Chetan Patel. So the test match now sits like this. 308 South Africa bowled out in the middle session today, and New Zealand making good progress towards that. 177 for 3. Deficit now just 131 runs.
University of Otago Oval looking an absolute picture once again here in Dunedin. Day number 3 of this first test of 3 tests between New Zealand and South Africa. Honours, we think, pretty even at the moment. South Africa posting 308 in their first turn at bat after winning the toss and electing to bat first. New Zealand have replied so far with 177 for 3. Magnificent century from Dean Elgar. His 7th in Test match cricket was the mainstay of that South African innings. And so far it's the New Zealand skipper Kane Williamson, 78, who's been supported yesterday afternoon by Jet Raval with a half century. That is holding things together for New Zealand. Oh, brilliant, absolutely outstanding. The skipper, goodness me, diving high to the right. A little juggle, but brilliant.
Well, we just spoke about how close the slips have to stand. Philander got the edge, and they've all been falling short. The last thing du Plessis would expect is for the ball to come above his head. Patel, it's more of an attacking shot and wide, stuck the hand up. That shows how quick he had to be and got it on the rebound. That is a very, very good catch. You don't quite appreciate it because he has to stand so close because of the surface and the balls that have fallen short. Jeet Patel, he's gone for 16, 184 for 4.
That's slightly towards here.
Early breakthrough for South Africa this morning. Night watchman Jeet Patel dismissed and James Neesham.
Edge, a little fiddle. Everyone could hear that one. And Neesham struggle outside off Stamper's end. And disaster for him.
But I think Jimmy Neesham's going to get a reprieve, Mark.
Is there something behind the line at the first point of contact there?
Well, that's gone down like a cup of cold sick here at the University of Otago Oval. Jimmy Neesham's got to go for 7, 193 for 5. Because Neesham's gone and the New Zealand wicketkeeper batsman has a job to do with the captain. In the air, but in the gap. Not totally controlled, but hit well enough. They bring the man in and Williamson deals to it. That is clever batting. It wasn't that short. Into the 90s.
Well, he's just pounced on the lack of pace here. Philander, while he is moving the ball, that one there was at 122k. So Williamson's got time. He's got time to adjust. It didn't really get up, but it was more of a straight bat pull.
Oh, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? We're giving him out. And this is a massive blow here if Maharaj has snuck through.
Yep, that's right. That impact is right. Oxborough, we've got impact in line, but missing the wickets. So we'll go back to Bruce on the field. Bruce, it's going over the top, mate. You're changing your decision. You're on camera now. It's not out.
Not out.
That's a lovely piece of timing from Watling. Excellent boundary just in front of square leg. Once again, clipped with force to the onside, just fractionally short, and that's all Williamson needs.
Beautiful shot. Not an easy shot to play, that on drive off the back foot. Second one in the over that he's played.
I think you could hear Quinton de Kock straight away. No man.
Williamson goes straight, can't get it through, could run himself out. Direct hit, but he's quick. Quick enough. And he goes to 99. The skipper is leading the way for New Zealand. A tickle round the corner from a loose one straight up from Duminy, and Kane Williamson has Test century number 16.
Oh, brilliant. He was so fluent for the first 60-odd runs, but from that time on, yesterday afternoon, with about an hour left to play, and then this morning, he has fought so hard against quality bowling, not easy conditions. That is a genuine quality Test match 100. And what a freebie. What a free full toss to bring it up with.
Was there some sort of gentleman's agreement out there? Williamson had gone to Du Plessis, said, look, if I get to 99, can you bring on a part-timer and get him to bowl a rubbish one down the leg side? Oh, it's loose again. He's just punched it in the gap with such control, such class.
Hasn't been a good over. A couple of full tosses in the over, so disappointment there registering on Quinton de Kock's face.
Punched again with good power. This time it's Watling, and he gets in on the boundary parade.
This is a really good shot. BJ Watling getting deep into the crease. Made an opportunity for himself to pierce this offside field. Delivery wasn't all that short, but he hit it beautifully.
Great little period this for New Zealand too, because they're pushing closer to that first innings total of 308.
Oh, that's gone straight along the ground. Through the pads of Quinton de Kock, and a little under edge on that. Maybe.
Yeah, sounded good, didn't it, as it went through. I like this, though. I like the pitch starting to play tricks. This is good. Kept low. You're not catching that. Oh, nicely played. Clever shot. Knew he just needed to get it fine, and he'd pick up 4, and he does so.
And Kane Williamson will be loving that. Absolutely, they're good sighters, those.
Well, one thing I know, 82 old over ball won't do is bounce very high, and this is perfect for Williamson. He can just get on top of it, place it. Comfortable boundary.
Edge, and that goes straight under said Faf du Plessis. That's wonderful timing. He said 2. He'll get more than that.
With the setup that Watling has, this is a strength. So this is an area where he shouldn't miss out. If the bowler gets too straight, the bat's coming straight down through the line there. Gives a little extra whip, but I don't think he really needed to. But that's his setup makes that shot the easiest one in the book for him.
Beautiful. Kane Williamson at his absolute best.
Well, Kane Williamson took just under an hour to get going for the day. He hadn't scored a run. And that shows his patience. The new ball, he's happy to let the South African bowlers bowl, the shine come off the new ball, and then when they overpitch, make a slight error. He's still good enough to put it away. Beautiful stroke.
Down the ground again. Not too far from Morkel. Some lovely straight drives in the past 2 overs from Williamson. It's a good way to end the over. 277 for 5.
Almost a carbon copy of what we saw from Williamson in the last over. Beautifully executed on drive. A little bit in the air, but never a chance for a caught and bowled for Rabada. And a token dive from Morne Morkel. It was the quickest ball of the over too. 143.2 kilometres an hour.
Edged and taken. And that extra pace and bounce of the new ball works.
Well deserved too, Kagiso Rabada. He's running pretty hard for South Africa and for his captain, and he gets a justified reward. But what an innings. Kane Williamson, absolutely brilliant for New Zealand.
I was going to take a delivery which did something special, and it certainly did, just leaving the right-handed Williamson and the ball to just nip a little bit. Fending and pushing at it. Faint edge, good catch. And that does it change the course of this match. New Zealand 6 down, effectively 7 if Ross Taylor can't back. Wonderful 100 though from Kane Williamson. 130 for him. 277 for 6.
in the air, but the timing is brilliant. Rabada puts the hands in the air. Not sure if it flicked his fingers or not.
Technically a chance, but that would be incredibly harsh on Rabada. This was back past him in a flash. He barely had time to get his arm up. But you're right, Craig, beautifully timed. Mid-off and mid-on are quite close.
Swung away, got some width and just angled it over gully. Aerial, but safe.
Boundary. Well received.
It certainly is. It's a favourite shot too of BJ Watling. He plays it well.
Got him. What a catch. That's an absolute beauty. South Africa celebrate. Santner stands. Now slowly makes his way back towards the pavilion. The umpire's going to come together on this one as well. We'll wait and see. Maharaj is the catcher.
Well, the strategy works to try and get Santner on strike and bowl to him. It was a full wide delivery. The shot was on. There's no doubt about that. It was just Santner that leant back on it a fraction. Have to have a look and see if the umpires are happy with the catch. It looks like everybody is. Here it is. It's full, it's wide, it's there to be hit, but he leant back on it. That's the problem.
So Mitchell Santner out, 4 of 42 deliveries, 297 for 7.
He's got 50, and that's well received too. And New Zealand have 300, double whammy. Good stuff, BJ Watling.
A few anxious moments early, but a very good innings. Exactly what New Zealand needed from their wicketkeeper. Still a lot of work to do for New Zealand to try and establish a lead that will be very valuable on this surface.
Bowled him, leg stump. Just skidded it on through. Lack of concentration. And New Zealand now lose another one.
He misjudged the length, BJ Watling. That delivery wasn't short enough to go back to and work through the onside. He needed to be forward. So this is a big breakthrough for South Africa. The third wicket for Keshav Maharaj.
Much needed too. The inform and well set BJ Watling. 50 for him, 304 for 8.
Nick doesn't carry through the gap, way to the boundary for 4.
And what a way to level the scores.
That's not. That is a cracking shot.
That's good. This is what he has to do, Wagner, and needs to look for any opportunity to get stuck in here.
This time be 6 all the way, is it? Yes, it is. Happy on the hill.
It's just not quick enough at that height for Vernon Philander. He has to be at head height, because if he's not, Neil Wagner's got enough talent to take that all the way, and he does.
Bowled him. Oh, advancing down the wicket. It was a wild swing. Lovely bit of bowling from Maharaj. Slowed it up nicely.
Well, the heroics of Wagner, I think, at the last over was too much for Trent Boult. He wanted a piece of the action as well. He'd made up his mind this was going if it was anywhere up. And he's had a horrible swipe at that. The head went back, the weight went back, the bat came from nowhere. And he just plain missed it.
Swings this one away and gets plenty on it. Great strike from Wagner.
And just slightly wider, but Wagner's also adjusted there and thought, okay, well, if I can stay in front of the wickets and look to go square, if I get the good length I'm after, I can get it away over cow corner. Some good thinking there, some good selective hitting from the lower order player.
Swings at Ross Taylor. That'll be 6 as well. Yes, it will. That's the way he's going to play too.
All right, well, perhaps he's not just going to do little and get Wagner on strike. This hurt a bit, though. Look there, just... it's hurt a little as he hobbled away. Good runs, though. The lead's now 29.
Goes again, does Wagner, and gets plenty of it into the gap for 4.
A good placement. He's really worked out that onside now, Wagner, and that's the area of the field he's targeting. He's just looking for enough width to be able to heave it away with that bottom hand, and that's clever batting. That's nice placement.
Is that out? It will be out. Yeah, bounced. Duminy takes the catch, quite comfortable in the end. Wagner will run off. Maharaj picks up 5 wickets. 5 for 94. Very well bowled. The left arm spinner for South Africa. Test match 5 for.
Yeah, it just bounced, didn't it? Surprised Neil Wagner, who changed his plan to try to maybe hit through the offside. The bounce was what did the trick. Hey, Valley's that 5 for. Well done, son. You got your first test 5 for. It's a moment to cherish. 5 for 94. New Zealand's innings comes to a close at 341. And that's a lead of 33. How significant will that be in the context of this match? It's a good lead.
So a quick burst of brilliance from Trent Boult, maybe from Wagner, or even in this light, Jimmy Neesham to hit the strings a wee bit. Could be quite a crucial time, quite a trying time for the likes of Stephen Cook and the centurion from the first innings, Dean Elgar. Cook, of course, was out to Trent Boult in the first innings when he shouldered arms to a ball that swung back, and he didn't pick it at all to do that. He was a bit embarrassed. Elgar, of course, has enhanced his record courtesy of a very fine knock first time round. 2 slips and a gully and a catching mid-wicket. Little touch was there, yes there was! Immediate success! And Cook just fiddling outside off stump, really. And Boult has struck, and New Zealand are cock-a-hoop.
They certainly are, and just mentioned how New Zealand would want 1. While South Africa was trying to knock this deficit off, they can get a second, and it would be a bonus. A feather of an edge. Good catch, BJ Watling. And he will be... What's that? A finger in the eye. That is reckless from Jimmy Neesham. South Africa in the hole to start the second innings. Cook out for 0 for 1.
Hashim Amla is the new player. 2 slips and a gully. And 2 catches on the onside. Right on the money, Trent Boult. This is great stuff.
It's a brilliant start, but Smithy, my initial reaction to this Cook delivery and dismissal was he didn't hit. I thought he hit his pad. I must have been seeing things because he walked off. Wow. I don't know why he walked off. Maybe there was a feather early, but there's nothing on hotspot.
There is down where he's hit his pad.
Yeah, that's there before the ball comes past, isn't it?
Yep.
So Trent Bolt already got the measure of an opening batsman. It's a great battle.
Gorgeous shot, really was. He rode the bounce, hit it on top of the bounce. Amla in control of that, no doubt. Beautifully worked. He's developed a plan here, Amla, to counter the swing and those players catching around the square leg area. He's going to go way outside off stump.
Oh, yes,
Beautiful shot. Being able to control the length, got a good stride in Amla. Again, beats mid off. Just too full from Patel and too straight.
Jacking, JT. Keep jacking, fella.
Well, this is playing into Hashim Amla's hands.
Glorious shot. Patel may have a bit of a grievance with Elgar there, but he stood his ground and Amla smacked it past it. Fantastic. We're leaving the field.
Yeah, well, I think we're done, Smithy, for the day, unfortunately. Four apiece for Bolton, Wagner, and 5 each for Mitchell Santner and Chetan Patel, the two spinners.
Situation then, South Africa lead by 5, and that's after a brilliant 100 from Kane Williamson yesterday, setting up New Zealand's reply of 341. It really was sterling stuff.
Very good morning, everyone. Kane Williamson leading the New Zealand side out onto University of Otago Oval here in Dunedin. Right, set to go. Trent Bolt. Oh, straight away. Wrapped on the fingers, wrapped on the gloves. That will not be nice. First up this morning when it's a bit cold.
It was a good bolt from Trent Ball, wasn't it? Straight up, yeah, cold fingers. It's that would have smarted. It's jumped a bit, hasn't it? It's good delivery round the wicket. Very high, right on the fingers. Quite lucky that just didn't flick the gloves and go through for a catch. Isn't that the funnest of times in New Zealand? Hashim Amla.
Out, gone. Looking to work it away onto the onside. Looped up in the air. Very, very comfortable catch for Tim Southey, the sub-fielder. And Amla departs early.
Well, both innings, Hashim Amla has struggled to get going, struggled to find his timing. Ahead of the ball, it just sat in the pitch a little bit. Easy catch for the 12th man, Tim Southey. He continues to do damage, does Neil Wagner. Gets his first wicket in this innings. It's the big one too. The outstanding Hashim Amla. He's out for 24, 39 for 2 now.
Neil Wagner has struck, and he struck the big blow of Hashim Amla. Brings JP Duminy, left-handed, to the crease. He too was undone by a ripper from Neil Wagner in the first innings. Sure, that will be in the back of the mind.
Fox, can we not turn the lights on?
They are. Yeah, to bring it from Auckland. That's stuck in 4.1.
4.0 and 4.3.
Well, bad news here in Dunedin. Unfortunately, as you rejoin us, umpires have had a chat, and I've got to say, it's got very dark. Very dark in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
With the players back out there, we'll have a change in commentary now. It'll be Craig Cumming, Kepler Vessels and Ian Smith.
Thanks, Mark. Batsmen have to start again. It's one of the challenges. Through. See if any of that drizzle's affected the outfield. It's still pretty fast. And they're not. Good bit of fielding. The call was bowler, but they made it. It's a nice shot. Gee, that's beautiful timing. Williamson's going to chase. He gives up.
Yeah, I really think this is a fantastic shot, and I think that South Africa have got to keep on doing this. He got width. It was on the up. But, geez, in very good form at the moment, Elgar.
Edge, did it carry? None moved. They are going to refer it straight away, are they? They are.
Okay, so that's flicked his pad there. There's nothing on hotspot. I'll go to RTS, please. Bear in mind, we will be checking LBW as well, which looks all right. So there's nothing on. Just rock and roll. Just go back in there. There's nothing on RTS there for a nick. So we'll just go through now, and so it's come off his pad. So we'll just go through and check the LBW. It needs to be red to be over to, yep. Okay, impact is outside the line. Okay, thank you. So we'll be going back to Bruce on field, and he'll be staying with his decision. Ox, it's not out, so you'll be staying with your decision.
Excellent decision.
It's a great decision from Bruce Oxenford. It's fair to say.
That's sped up. Got the body into it that time, Duminy, and that's where the timing came from. Good end to the over. 14 runs now for the day, 52 for 2.
Been playing this shot very well for quite a while now, particularly during the South African summer against Sri Lanka. Really thrived when driving through the covers.
Edge, put down. Tom Latham in there because of Ross Taylor, and he's put down a simple chance.
Does not get easier than that at first slip. It's a good delivery. A steep bounce came off the shoulder of the bat. What an opportunity.
Outside edge. No luck at all for Bolt. Over Bolt, 60 for 2. Flicked away in the air. Timing was exceptional. Didn't mean to hit it in the air, but hit it in the middle of the bat.
Lovely cricket shot that. It's not an easy gap to find. Williamson can't run it down. Gorgeous shot from Elgar. Big shout. Umpire Damasina not interested in the slightest.
Oh, last ball of the last over. That certainly turns a big shout. Tell you what, Smithy. I thought it was out. I put my finger up straight away, Kepler. I put my finger up straight away before we even said a word and thought it was out. Through the gap.
Very lucky there. He's still not in complete control at the moment, JP Dooman. He's living on luck, but he's riding it well. That's got to be close. Got to be close. He must have hit that. Must have hit it. He must think he hit it. Surely. Was it going down? Are they going to go this time? Yes, they are.
Yeah, that looks like a clear inside edge there. Yep, on that replay there. Yep, just go to hot spot to confirm that. Yep, okay, happy with that. Yep, so it's back to Kumar on field, and it'll be Kumar is inside edge on that. Stay with your decision. Well done, mate.
Great shot, really good shot. Cashing in here now. He's bowling very quickly. Patel, he's over 90 k's per ball. Edge, and that goes down. It continues. Goodness me, it is Saturday. It's Lotto Day.
Well, this is Dean Algar on this occasion. Dane Williams can only shake his head. He can only shake his head. Healthy edge, they're very wide apart. Watling can't get to it. Wow.
All I can say here is that he's fully outstretched to get to that.
Nicely controlled, because that stayed down and he's hit it for 4. Well, nicely played. A little bit of improvisation, and it goes for 4. Oh, that's very close and out! I don't think this one's worth reviewing. This looked very good. Gonna review it though.
We need red impact in line and hitting the wickets. On-field call. Ox, you'll be staying with your decision. Your decision was out. You'll stay without. On screen now. Well done.
Told you shouldn't have reviewed it. JP Duminy goes. It was a good knock. A good fight. Worked very hard. He's got to go for 39. 133 for 3.
Wicket of JP Duminy, LBW for bowling Neil Wagner, 39 off 91 deliveries.
Faktul Pasi.
That's put down. Another chance for New Zealand. De Gronholm this time.
Was hit very hard. He's also had his share of luck today. Dean Elgar, but he completes a half-century in the second innings to follow that magnificent 100 that he got during the first innings. So a terrific test match for Dean Elgar.
Come on, lads. 4 and 5.
Well deserved as well. He's toiled long and hard.
Beautiful again from Wagner. The outside edge of Faf du Plessis' bat and away for another boundary.
Pulled away very nicely and nice enough to pick up a boundary. As he creates, I won't say an opportunity because I think it bounced short of James Neesham and it runs away to the boundary for 4. And he's picked up the edge. This time he gets whipped and punished.
But that looked a pretty tired looking delivery to me.
Wow, that's come off the leg of Tom Latham in close. I think it's come off the knee and then bounced aerial away towards Southey.
Well, it wouldn't have been an amazing catch, a phenomenally good catch. It needed luck because it needed to bounce up straight up so he could have a second go, or maybe VJ Watling could get round, he could carry to Southey.
Good stop. And very, very led to a mix-up there between these two. Oh, they're going to have a look now because Latham thinks that the bat might have been the air.
Kevin, we've got a review for a run out.
He's confident, but he just doesn't
Thank you.
do it anyway.
Thank you, that's not out. Not out, thank you.
What in the heck was Latham looking at?
It's Linky. Keep it, short, keep it!
What on earth is going on? Awful piece of fielding for one, awful throw. That's not too flash either. Santner brings the shot out of Alker and he comes down the wicket and spanks him straight. Rare show of aggression. Edge! No, did it carry? I don't think it did.
And it travels quickly. You can see him standing up. He's almost trying to anticipate, but he's not in a position to catch that ball.
No, he's not. He's on the move. He was going left.
According to Dean Algar.
I've got gap between ball and bat on the right-hand side there. As it goes past the bat now, there's nothing on RTS, right? Kumar, I've got nothing to suggest that he's hit the ball on the screen here, on the replays here. So I'm going to have to ask you to overturn your decision. He's hit his pad, so it's not out.
And that there is how you review. Spot on, Dean Algar. Spot on, it sounded so good, it looked so good, but he knew that head hit his pad and the ball had not clipped the bat, and he survives. The graft goes on. He's alive, and that'll be tea time here at the University of Otago Oval.
Oh, yes, GT.
Sweeps well. Picks up 4.
Take that.
Cow!
He bowled it well there, Mitchell Santner. I think this is a good delivery. May have seen Dean Algar coming in through it very wide.
It is a good delivery.
Now at the moment it is due. Whether it's taken or not, we will see.
New Zealand decided that they weren't going to bowl the spinners. They've taken the new ball, so that's good. The spinners will bowl with it.
Now the new ball has been taken.
Nice, Nicky.
That's 4. And that was too short, and that's just put away. The new ball will ping off the cricket bat as well. Edge all along the ground, and that'll go for 4. I don't think it was a chance. Very full from Wagner, and that was probably why it went along the ground the whole way.
Catch!
Oh, it's in the air. It could be out. He could be out. He's going to be out. Yeah! He is out. Finally, Dean Algar goes. He's batted for so long. He's batted with such discipline. And he will be mortified with that dismissal.
You called it, Mark Richardson, and up in the intensity. And that attempt to do that has brought about a poor shot from Algar. Nice running catch from Kane Williamson. And the first wicket in a very long day for Jeet Patel, but a crucial breakthrough for New Zealand. Algar goes for a superb 89, a superb test match. 193 for 4.
Hemba Bavuma, with a good start to his test career.
Sweeps and gets off the mark with 4. End of the over, 5 from it. 200 comes up for South Africa, 200 for 4. 4 more. That'll finish the over off. Just glides it away down to third man. 204 for 4. Got him. Couldn't keep it out. Timber Bavuma bounced a lot, hit the stickers, and then spun back onto the off stump. Tried to kick it out of the way, but it was too late.
Bavuma out for 6, 206 for 5.
Quinton de Kock is the new batsman for South Africa, left-hander.
All the way.
He's off the mark. He'll be off the mark with a boundary 4 as well for Quinton de Kock. Nicely tucked around the corner.
No problems there. Let's hit the middle of the bat.
Excellent shot, Faf du Plessis. He's batted well in this test match, got a half century in the first innings, and he's been rock solid in the second innings as well.
Beautiful through there. Second boundary of the over. So a good one, and it brings up the 50 for the skipper. There's 11th in Test cricket. He acknowledges it. It's been an excellent display. 218 for 5. Bowling! What an absolute ripper from Patel. The off-spinner's dream, pitches leg and hits off.
Not much Quinton de Kock could do about this one. This was a terrific delivery. This is exactly what the off-spinner is hoping for when he's bowling to a left-hander. The pace was good. The line and the length was spot on, but it was that turn that led to Quinton de Kock's undoing.
Brilliant work from Jeetan Patel. Again, proving the nemesis of Quinton de Kock. He goes for 4. It's 218 for 6.
One.
Of innovation. The call is 1. Du Plessis will get back easily. Good running. He's home safely.
Really? We need to have another look
is
at
that
that
the first run or the second? No, that's not out. That's not out. Yes.
Come on, boys. 7-8 here.
2 quick wickets. The South African second innings, Dean Elgar led from the front yet again to back up his 100 in the first innings, 89 off 249 balls. So patient. And then maybe a rush of blood. He took on Patel, tried to hit him over Williamson's head. Du Plessis been like a rock, 56 off 155 balls. 5 bowlers used by New Zealand, and the big concern, Trent Boult, who is off at the moment with a sore groin. 1 for 34. Neil Wagner's been absolutely brilliant, 2 for 57. Mitch Satner has been kept out of the crease for a long, long time when he came in. Picked up a wicket, 1 for 37. And Jeet Patel, the 36 overs, 2 for 72. So we look at the match summary. 308 for South Africa. New Zealand 341 in reply. And currently South Africa 224 for 6. They lead by 191 runs. We will have 95 overs in what could be a very entertaining 5th day of the first test match from University of Otago Oval in Dunedin. We'll be on air at 10:30 a.m. live on Sky Sport 1. So on behalf of the Sky team, have a very pleasant evening, and we'll see you live tomorrow 10:30 a.m. live from Dunedin University Oval.